Hello and welcome back to the Slide Rule Pass blog. I'm Daniel, I'm your host today. I'm in for a change. Obviously, you probably recognise me from the Evermore podcast. Obviously, Newcastle have just won against Brighton 2-1, a fantastic win that keeps our unbeaten run going, I think now to 8 games it is. We've already had a couple of comments coming in. Jack Sutton saying, who's that team we call United? Well, Jack, what a win. We'll go through the game in a moment. I do have a guest joining me in just a moment as well, a Brighton supporter, actually, who's currently sat crying behind me, but we'll introduce him in a moment. But firstly, I'll go through the first half. Obviously, Newcastle came out the blocks, started okay. Brighton then came back into it, I thought, a bit. And just as they were actually getting a bit of a foothold in the game, we hit them with a sucker punch. Jacob Murphy runs through and goal. He hits the post with a little dink, but then Ryan Fraser is there to finish it off. 1-0 Newcastle. And then only about 3 minutes later, from a Ryan Fraser free kick in, Fabian Schär heads home to give Brighton a massive sucker punch. And to be fair, Newcastle probably should have been even further ahead towards the end of the first half. Jacob Murphy as well picked up on a loose ball from a Brighton defensive mistake. And he had two options, well, three actually. He could have passed it to Ryan Fraser. He could have passed it to Joe Willock or put it in one of the corners of the net, but instead puts it straight down the neck of the goalkeeper. Yes, Chris, I do completely agree on the fan club. Jacob Murphy does need to work on his shooting. He's making a bit of a habit of missing sitters this season, isn't he? I look back to Watford when John Anderson went a bit mad. I think there's been a couple of others as well, but that one was shocking too. I mean, to be fair, if we think about Ryan Fraser's goal, Murphy should have scored that as well. Shocking. Luckily, Ryan Fraser was there in the right place at the right time. Of course, second half, Brighton probably with a better side could have even got a point out of that game. Of course, a good goal from a header from them brought them back into it, but we were just able to hang on. I thought standout performance. I thought Joe Linton was good as per usual. Saint-Maximin, when he came on, didn't really do much, in my opinion. I thought Ryan Fraser was excellent again. Fantastic. And Big Dan Burn, against his former club, did the job for me, in my opinion. So, Charlie, if you're ready to get yourself in, I'm going to bring a chair up. I'm going to bring in a guest. I'll move myself over to here as well.
I reckon that fits in.
You sit yourself there.
Maybe myself, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure I'm going to fit through it, mate.
You'll be all right. You'll be okay.
Long dangling legs.
I fully agree with that, Simon, there, though. If Murphy squares that ball, it is game over. 3-0 at half-time. Brighton aren't coming back from that. But I'm going to do now is introduce Charlie. Charlie, of course, you're a Brighton supporter. Journal Half on Twitter. BHA Today. Firstly, some of your thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, frustrating again. 4 defeats on the bounce now, having lost 4 in 23 games before that. It's a bit ridiculous, isn't it? I don't think we even played that badly, though, to be fair. It was just a kind of a 3-4 minutes of the game that we let a couple of goals go in. I mean, good goals, to be fair, especially the header from
Fabian
Schär, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people brought him into the fantasy teams because he had a bit of an aerial threat. I wasn't one of those, unfortunately. But, I mean, good game from you guys, to be fair. I think second half, we were definitely the better of the two teams.
I agree.
We probably should have done a bit more.
Mark Farrington saying it's like Dan Burn and Ryan Fraser on screen.
It is. Well, I'm sat on a bit of a higher chair, to be fair.
You are, but to be fair, Mark, Charlie's a lot taller than me. I'm not a big man. I'm not blessed by height. So, yes, it literally is like Ryan Fraser and Dan Burn. And Jack, for me, yes, I would say Ryan Fraser man of the match as well.
He was a bit of a thorn in our side, to be fair.
I was actually surprised when he came off, to be honest. But
I thought saint-Maximin was quite dangerous. So, did you say you didn't think he played very well?
He was a bit lazy for me at times. I think I know he's just come back from injury and he didn't always track back and maybe as much as he could have done. But I know he's like that, to be fair. But oh well. So anyway, yeah. When was it? It was Lewis Dunk who scored, right? Wasn't it?
It was, yeah. Great header.
When Lewis Dunk scores that, do you think you can get a point from the game?
It gave a bit of unbelief again. I think in the away end, obviously we got a lot louder. I thought we were actually all right in the first half. We're up in the gods, aren't we, up there in the away end? I was quite high up, row P as well. So it was quite difficult to kind of make out most players. You can definitely see Dan Burn from up there, but the likes of Fraser and Lampard.
You can see Dan Burn from space, to be fair.
Yeah, you really could. The amount of times we've said that today.
I know, it's a favorite joke already.
I think 2-1, it's quite early on as well in the second half, sorry. So you're thinking, all right, yeah, we can get back in
Chris does say, Charlie must have fancied the draw in the end there.
Yeah, I mean...
We were hanging on a bit towards the end.
We looked good. It was just lacking a bit of urgency. It was quite slow. Duffy in particular, he's not a ball-playing defender like someone like Dan Burn is. You wouldn't expect it with him being 6'7", but he was so good at just kind of driving us forward, or he might get up the pitch, be that almost target man on the left-hand side, and that gets us up the pitch a lot quicker. But I mean, I do love Duffy. He's a fantastic player, fan favourite, but he's not very fast on the ball, and we needed that towards the end, to be honest. And I think Adam Webster as well has been a massive miss for us.
Yes.
4 games in a row without him, 4 defeats. It's no coincidence. And I think, obviously, Dan Burn going as well is no coincidence with that.
Do you think, I mean, as Chris quite rightly says here, if Brighton had a better finisher, a better striker, we could. This has been your problem for a little while, hasn't it? I mean, obviously, Neil Mopey came on, didn't really do much.
No, he didn't.
No, and I mean,
to be fair, he did battle on.
Yeah, he did.
It's hard working, and he won the ball back a few times.
Didn't have, in terms of chances, but perhaps that's not his fault. I mean, if he's not getting the service, that's the thing. Danny Welbeck,
with him, he's just a bit slow on the ball again. He's a physical fella, but I think have it the other way around. Have him off the bench. Fresh legs.
I'd say so.
He tires at the end. I mean, he's got Poppadom hamstrings anyway. It's true. Danny Welbeck, his injury record is not good at all. But I agree, Chris. If we had a better finisher, probably would have been 2-2 today.
Yeah, I mean...
Am I going to sign for Newcastle as well?
Well, I mean, with that height, if you play anything like Dan Burn, we'll get you in there. I mean, if I'm Ryan Fraser, as Mark said before...
I'm actually awful in the air, though. I might be 6'2" or whatever. I can't head a ball.
I'm not great in the air, to be fair, but I'm only 5'7", so...
Me and Chris Woff, though, the link-up play.
Well, exactly. You know, shout out to Chris Woff. I know he's probably covering the match report right now for the Athletic, but... Yeah, going forward from here, of course, Newcastle, we go away to Southampton on Thursday. Who do you have again? Who's next for Brighton?
We've got Liverpool up next at home.
Oh,
it's not a midweek game, I don't think. Really? It might be.
Obviously, this is a game that Newcastle have had rearranged because it was cancelled for COVID.
Game at a time for us at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, how does Graham Potter go about turning things around?
Honestly, I don't know what's going on, if it's anything behind the scenes or not, to be fair. But something has changed. Basuma was benched today. He's fit. It must be something to do with his attitude or something. I don't know. He just hasn't looked like the same player.
I mean, to be fair, like we said, I was saying at the start, I was confident Joe Linton was going to do one on Basuma, but never got the chance to see
him. No,
he didn't.
He didn't. I thought that if Basuma was on the pitch, to be fair, we'd have done a lot better.
He's been in a bit of a weird form at the moment, hasn't he? Because he's not been playing brilliantly, though.
No, against Spurs in the Cup, though, he was our best player on the pitch. Scored a really good goal. Was deflected, to be fair, but he still had to work for the space, dribbled inside from the left hand.
Yeah.
And I think if he was on the pitch today, the midfield battle would have been a lot.
Why do you think Potter didn't bring him on then?
I think something must have happened. I think otherwise he'd be playing. I mean, there's been a few times he's been dropped to the bench because of lots of games coming up and things. We've got Liverpool next, so of course you want to rest him for that. But there's a good few days before then and now and then. So I'd have liked to have seen him come on at least for the final half an hour.
Yeah.
And just see what we can do. But I think the subs were good. Solly March in particular was brilliant, I thought. Kind of really going at your defence. Not many players did today. Even Lamptey wasn't really on it.
To be fair, I did think you created quite a good amount of chances. Even that first half, as I said before, in the first half, I'd say Newcastle started okay for the first 2 or 3 minutes, and then Brighton came back into it, had a few chances. I mean, Ryan Fraser had a chance about 2 minutes in when he probably should have done better.
Oh, that was about a minute in. Yeah, I was right behind that one. I mean, very high up.
Yeah.
The way it kind of came to him, he should have
done better with that. Yes, of course, redeemed himself about 10 minutes later.
Straight the keeper though, wasn't it?
Yeah, a bit like Murphy's chance right on half time. But I mean, just looking sort of the day as itself. Obviously, this is your first time at St James's Park in Newcastle, and so what was it like? What was the experience like going into the ground? Obviously, the flags as well.
Yeah, I thought the flags was a good show. I mean, I couldn't see much from where I was in terms of what did you have on the side?
On the leasers, it said "Howie the Lad." Obviously, you'd be looking at.
I can see the NUFC flags.
The Gallagher, yeah.
I could see down on the side, you had all the flags.
The east stand where I was, yes.
That's where you were on, aren't you? But yeah, I've really enjoyed it, to be fair, apart from the result. I think the first half was a bit depressing.
You've come to Newcastle and been disappointed, haven't you? Quite frankly.
I have. I wasn't expecting anything less, though, really. I thought we'd lose today. 2-0 was my prediction going into it, because your form is the best in the league. There's nothing...
Depends on Liverpool. I mean, I'll have a look to see how Liverpool are doing, but...
Yeah, honestly, I wasn't expecting big things today. We've been in our worst form of the season so far. As I said, Basuma hasn't been on it. Even Lamptey.
Liverpool, Mane has put Liverpool ahead. So they're still in form as well.
The fact you're talking about that, though, like, Liverpool, who's in better form? I mean, it shows, doesn't it? It just transitions within a few months.
Yeah. Oh, very, very funny. I mean, just because I'm a small man, Chris, honestly. I mean,
I could see the whole pitch. To be fair,
could you? I mean, I know you could see Dan Burn, but could you see Tariq Lamptey and could you see Ryan Fraser?
I could work out who it was.
Oh, right.
That's just because I've got a good knowledge of the team.
Fair enough.
I think.
Fair enough. Yeah.
It's someone who doesn't go. If you weren't to go very often, I mean, if you're an away fan, you would be. But say you were up in the Fairies, where a bit further along, you might struggle if you're not a regular.
Yeah, I get what you mean. And so looking at Newcastle from an away perspective, I wouldn't say we were at our best today. Obviously, we were hanging on towards the end, but we just keep on picking up points, don't we?
Yeah, you're a bit relentless, aren't you? I think it's Eddie Howe's quite good at that, isn't he? I'm surprised how quickly though.
How
good
joke.
I'm surprised how quickly. I wasn't even meaning to do that because it was an awful joke. You shouldn't be making
that. But that's just our comedic genius bouncing off each other right now. All of you viewers, I'm sure, are having an absolutely lovely time.
I think it's comedic how you're up to my shoulder, to be honest.
Well, exactly. I mean, look at this. Chris giving someone grief about their height. Exactly. I mean, yes, Chris, you're not exactly the tallest man in the world. So, but Chris himself says, yeah, I do agree with that. I think it was a bit of a liability when he came on. I mean, yes, he had the odd moment of spark and brilliance that he always does, but he did give the ball away a bit too much. And also,
he did, but his role's to run at players and try and get a goal to decide it, isn't it?
Correct.
He nearly did that.
Correct. Yes. Although I'd just say that I think his work rate's not that good.
You know?
No. I mean,
I couldn't see much of there.
He does the right things in the right places, of course, when he's up in a higher advanced position. But yeah, he doesn't like. He was leaving Target to do a sort of 2 men on his own. Target is he's been
really good.
Understated signing, but has done wonders in my opinion.
Not as much as Dan Burn.
Dan Burn's been absolutely phenomenal. I mean, do you think he's been a big loss?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I mean, it's no coincidence. Obviously, Webster, as I was saying before, but him going and then losing 4 on a bounce. It's not just him. There's something else going on at the moment. We've been a bit unlucky. I think away at United, we were the best side in the first half, and then Basuma gave the ball away. Ronaldo scored, and Dunk got sent off straight afterwards. Then we lost Dunk for a couple of games. Doesn't help, does it? But Dan Burn himself, I mean, he's an absolute figure at the back of his he for a big lad as well. It's a bit of a cliche, of course, but great touch for a big lad.
Oh, massive. This is what I was thinking before.
From the back. Also, the back three, we're so much better with the 3, and we can't do it without Webster and Burn. It doesn't quite work. Duffy's not a ball-playing centre-half. He's more of a no-nonsense centre-back. So, I
like Tariq Lamptey, moving on to him. And last season he came here and he absolutely ripped us to shreds. He had moments today, but he wasn't perhaps as good as he.
No, he was nowhere near his best today. He had a poor game actually, Lamptey. I'm not sure what it was. It seemed as if Potter had said, "Don't go beyond." I don't know. That's because we've got a bit of a slow defence today, but
you need to get back and.
He was playing on the right wing. If you're on the right wing, then you've got to run at players, and he didn't do that enough for me. But as I said before, though, it was when March came on. He changed the game a bit. I mean, he already had the goal back at that point.
Yeah, I mean, I was surprised Lamptey came off because I thought he's still, even though he wasn't having a good game, he's still a threat with his pace and his trickery. But still, I mean,
his fitness as well, though. He can never really hit 90 minutes, Lamptey.
So he had that big injury a little while, like last year. Yeah, I mean, do you think he's still recovering from that?
I don't know if it's the injury. It just seems.
This is a great comment from Chris Curry. We should send Dan Burn to tackle Putin.
Only one winner. So, yeah.
I think he'd do a job, Chris. I think he'd do a job.
For those long legs.
Putin's a small. I swear, Vladimir Putin's only about 5'6" or something like that, isn't he?
Yeah. Not much yourself.
I could probably take him. To be fair.
You're taller than Putin.
Exactly. I mean, get you on him.
Yeah, absolutely. Me and Dan Burn.
Oh, he'd have no chance. Absolutely no chance. But anyway, yeah, we're reaching 15 minutes now, so we'll start wrapping things up a little bit.
Any more questions about the game?
Any more questions? Anyone in the comment, do let us know before we wrap things up. Just looking at sort of Newcastle moving forward from an away perspective, do you think we continue this run against Southampton, knowing that they've lost against?
Yeah, they have just lost 4-0
to Villa.
I would have said before today. Yeah, I would have said before today. Then it would probably be like a draw or maybe even a loss. That might be the end of the unbeaten run because they've been really good on the Hassan recently. But
yes, they have.
A 4-0 loss.
That's quite. I mean, Gerrard. I mean, he started well with Villa. Dipped
against us.
Dipped for a bit. I mean, he's won the last 2 though, hasn't he? I think
so. Yeah.
Oh,
He's done. Yeah.
Are we getting a world exclusive here, Charlie? From you?
I mean, no, it's not exclusive. For me.
Everyone. It will be announced eventually.
It's in the media. It's done. He wouldn't have left us.
He's still on. Is he still on gardening leave at the moment? Or is he...
I think it's a matter of he's on extended gardening leave.
Yeah.
But there's trying to be some sort of compensation, trying to buy that out. There's talks between the clubs.
Yeah,
And
just
I
trying
think
to
it's going to happen at some point, basically.
Question here from Thomas asking, time to start Bruno next game, and so who drops? I mean, as I said to Charlie before the game, I don't know who comes up for him because at the moment those three are still playing really well. Now, to be fair, Joe Willock did come off at the end of the game and what looked like a bit of a sore hamstring, if I saw it right. I'm not sure. So
I can see from
I'm not sure, but he looked a bit knackered. He sort of went down in the last minute or so.
Played a lot of football though recently.
Yes, he certainly has. And so perhaps him. Shelby was okay today. Joe Linton did what Joe Linton does. I wouldn't be taking him out. What are you?
Bit warm in it.
Are you embarrassed now? Are you?
No embarrassment. No. Get the Brighton to the
I think it would probably be Willock or Shelby, and depends on how bad Willock's injury is today. But yeah, I mean, he's perhaps starting against Chelsea, perhaps because obviously we know
Champions League quality, isn't it? So
this is the thing, and John Joe Shelby and Joe Willock are keeping on the bench right now.
Surely Shelby gets a bit outrun against Chelsea though.
Yeah, perhaps. Yeah, I mean, Chris is quite right. He's saying Willock did look like he did look knackered today. And as I say, he came off at the end for Sean Longstaff briefly, perhaps with a bit of a knock. So perhaps, depending on how bad that injury is, Bruno comes in because he has replaced Willock in a couple of other games recently. But again, for Newcastle, it's 3 points. Unfortunately, Charlie, it is a loss for you.
It is 4 in a
row.
And we've got Liverpool next. That's fun.
And we've got Southampton away. But I think we'll wrap things up there. Thank you all very much for your comments. It's been great. There's been a nice little review of the match. Charlie, thank you for joining me. I mean, you had no choice really, but
no, I was sat over there.
Yeah, you had no choice.
But I enjoyed that. It was good.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to go out now and have a few drinks, drown your sorrows.
Yeah, you can celebrate.
Yeah, all my Newcastle supporting mates are going to love spending some time with you.
Good grief.
But anyway,
Emil liked teasing me, didn't he?
Oh, well, exactly. I mean, you'll see on the fan cams when they come out, but. Yeah, that is all. Thank you all very much for watching. It's. I mean, normally it'd be Chris ending this, but it's me this time, so I'm going back to my little catchphrase at the end. Yeah, defeat. Thanks, Chris. Thank you very much. But yes, thank you all very much for watching. And how are the lads?
Not the Seagulls.